This is your Daily 5 for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. For the three of you who actually noticed, yes, I have changed from saying welcome to this is, because I have to re-record so many of these by saying welcome to 80 times because for some reason I can't manage it, except when I don't need to. So yeah, I've changed it to this is your Daily 5 instead of welcome to your Daily 5. I like it better anyway. Anyhow, that's not what this 5 is about. This 5 is about one of the movies that Lando and I watched for our communal movie viewing this week. An accidental choice, as it turns out, because I didn't realize I was picking the movie I was picking, but didn't matter, still had a great time. We watched 1987's Steele Justice, starring Martin Kove, who most people would know as the bad guy from Karate Kid and the Cobra Kai series. A movie. Now, this movie actually came out. We had to check this a couple of times. You'll hear in the commentary to be sure. But this movie actually follows the original Karate Kid by 3 years. And incredibly, Kove looks like he's younger and in better shape in this movie, which makes me wonder if maybe in the Karate Kid they sort of aged him a bit or made him look a little bit older to make him kind of seem like he'd been around for a while, because he looks great in this movie, and it's 3 years later. The film concerns an individual named John Steele, hence Steele Justice. By the way, Kove is surrounded by a monstrous amount of actors who you will know from other things. Celia Ward, Ronnie Cox, I don't remember his name, but the guy who's in he's the bad Asian guy in almost every single movie, including Big Trouble in Little China. That's what I know him from. I think his last, is his name... So I think it's something Kwong, but I can't remember the first name. And just a bunch of familiar faces. The Tri-Lambda guy from Revenge of the Nerds, and that's just some of them. This is packed with actors who you will recognize from other roles. And John Steele is an ex-Vietnam vet. Well, I guess you're never really an ex-Vietnam vet. A Vietnam veteran who survived a harrowing experience in the war with his best friend, has returned to civilian life, and has turned his back on anything involving hurting other people. Much like John Rambo, he has gone to taking care of animals. He is now a horse wrangler who prefers working with animals as opposed to ever having to deal with people again. A sentiment which I can completely understand. However, of course, old events from his former life come back to revisit him, and he is forced to embrace his old violent ways to get revenge for wrongs new and old. Wow, that was a really good summary for me. I usually don't do summaries like that, but that's basically what this movie is. And so in terms of plot, there are very few things in this movie that if you watch these types of films, action films, Vietnam veteran revenge films, you've probably seen some variation of this story before. But Martin Kove is really good in this. It is kind of surprising. Len and I have talked about this on his show. Kove is one of these people that I'm sort of surprised never got more leading roles. And I wonder if it's simply because there were others around him at the time who were just a bit more handsome, a bit more in shape, a bit more action ready, because he does have, I don't know how else to say this, he's a bit on the blockier side in terms of his face. Still a handsome man, but doesn't have quite the Patrick Swayze. Actually, we came up with a term for what we thought he was. I'll save that for the Friday show. I will not spoil it here. We will talk about it. It will probably be the Friday show title. But Patrick Swayze, a little bit more handsome. Somebody like Stallone and Schwarzenegger seemed a little bit more custom engineered for the action star mania of the 80s and 90s. And so I wonder if Kove was just left behind. But this movie is a really wonderful showcase for the fact that he does have this natural charisma and charm. He's certainly capable in the action department for the most part. Just don't give him a sword. But otherwise, he does seem like a leading man type of actor. And watching movies like this and some of the ones that Len and I have reviewed, it is surprising to me, unless he's difficult to work with or there's some other factor that I don't know about. But you really feel like he should have been a leading man, even in B movies, but even in some A-list movies. So I would recommend watching Steele Justice. It's a lot of fun. You can watch it for free over on the Roku channel. It's not the best Vietnam revenge war film you'll ever see, but it's certainly far from the worst. And as a vehicle for Martin Kove, I think it serves him very well for most of the film. So I would say, if you have 90 minutes to kill, there are far worse ways to spend your time. Later.